Jurors will head to court tomorrow morning to decide if two former Albuquerque police officers are guilty of second-degree murder.
Today, during closing arguments, their attorneys laid out why those officers believe they had every right to kill homeless camper James Boyd. News 13's Lizzie Mitri was there. Lizzie?
Dean, Jessica, each attorney got about an hour today to make their case to the jury one last time. One final plea.
No matter who you are, no one should be above the law, even police officers.
After another.
Consider yourself lucky to have 3 weeks to consider life or death decisions, but these officers did not.
Attorneys addressed the jury.
As you sit here right now in this courtroom, you're the most powerful people in Albuquerque.
The prosecution says former officers Dominic Perez and Keith Sandy unnecessarily killed James Boyd as he was surrendering.
He was not a dangerous animal that needed to be bagged and attacked. He was a mentally ill man who was having one of the worst days of his life.
The defense reminded jurors of Boyd's threats to officers.
To stab him in their neck, to wait till it's dark because he can hunt them down and kill them. And there he's going home to his family, but they're not.
The state called Sandy a dangerous officer, one with something to prove, and pointed to Sandy's comments about Boyd before he'd even seen him.
Uses the F word, calls him a lunatic, explains that to you by saying, well, I call everybody a lunatic.
She admits Perez is a different kind of officer, but says if Sandy's guilty, so is Perez because he shot second. But the officers say they fired to protect the canine handler who got too close to Boyd, that they're being punished for doing their job.
Who would ever want to be a police officer? The same state prosecuting them after they train them? We'll never have another police officer.
Objection, Your Honor. Sustain.
Both sides say the video speaks for itself, but whether it shows Boyd moving to surrender or to attack, the jury got an hour this evening after closing arguments to begin that discussion. On top of video evidence, jurors have had 2.5 weeks of testimony that they'll have to consider. They're scheduled to be back in court at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Back to you.
All right, Lizzie, thank you. A second-degree murder conviction could mean up to 15 years behind bars. And of course, when there is a verdict in this case, we will bring it to you on air and on our KRQE News app right away.